All right, welcome to Dean Bodie Show. Dean Bodie Show. How's everybody doing? Remember, DeanBodie.com website, Dean Bodie Podcast. Wherever you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify, all the platforms. Dean Bodie Show, DeanBodi space show is the YouTube channel. And, 800-878-9698. Dean Bodie Hotline is up and running. You're welcome to call, leave a friendly message, leave a little sing-along, leave a funny story, make it short but funny or whatever. And we'd be happy to use it as a feature on our show. And we'll bounce off of it, and we'll talk about how your times relate to our times, and we'll kind of ping-pong off each other, so to speak, and it'll be fun. So, again, 800-878-9698 is a hotline. We're trying a little bit of a different lighting here today, so we'll see how it turns out. Who knows? Dean Bodie likes the rough edges, and we're going to be going with the flow. And those of you that were with me in the last episode, I was going on and on about the anxiety and all the stuff, and not to make this kind of like a anxiety series in a row, but just letting you know, we're going through it. We keep moving forward. And those of you that are dealing with it, you just keep living your life and keep moving forward. Things will be okay. It's kind of tempting to want to, do a coffee or something like that to get the stimulus up and that kind of thing. But in my experience, letting your body find its way, do the good nutrition, keep the eating clean, get out and go for some walks. That's what's great about Bodie. Bodie gets me out and about. Good for clearing your head. Get the cardio walk kind of going. Get moving around. Get some fresh air. Get some sun where the vitamin D comes from, right? Good girl, Bodie. Good girl. Good girl, Bodie. She's the best girl in the world. Ho! And it makes a major difference. You don't get caught up in too much of the heaviness of it, and it keeps your mind on other things and keeping you moving so your nervous system can find its way. Oh, that being said, we're going to be going on my first cruise ever on a Carnival cruise ship way back in the day. Man, we're going back to early 80s and went with a fantastic person. We'll just call her Beth. And boys and girls, we all have the one that got away, and this is the one that got away in my life. Shout out to you, Beth, if you're out there, you ever come across this Dean Bodie show. What an inspiration this person was in my life and always will be. And big hugs and big prayers going out to you. Hope everything's going great with you and your family. And you keep shooting for the stars, as I know that you always do. And all good stuff there. So the cruise was wild, though, man. You ever been on a Carnival cruise before? It's kind of one of those things you got to do, Cruise ships have gotten kind of a bad rap lately, but the one I went on way long time ago, it went to the Bahamas. It was like a 2-night, 3-day, one of those short ones, but it was great. The excursions were great. The island of St. John, San Juan, Puerto Rico, and, these kinds of islands in the Bahamas. And it was unbelievably beautiful. San Juan, Puerto Rico, shout out, because the greatest coffee in the world. Period. After doing rum punches all day on the boats and things like that, we went there, had a little coffee brought to the table while we were watching the Flamenco Dancers. Yabba-da-dee-da-da-da-da, yabba-da-dee-da-dee-da-da. Clacking and stomping and clacking, drinking this Puerto Rican coffee. I'm telling you, the buzz was gone in no time. I felt like I was so wide awake and alert. And ever since then, a huge fan of the Puerto Rican coffee, big time. But since we're on the topic of coffee, I go the light roast only now. Why? Because it's highest in polyphenols. High polyphenol, good. The darker roasts are lower in the polyphenols. Stay with the light roast. Dr. Dean dropping knowledge. Hey, Millie, you hear what I told you the other day? Do the light roast. Oh, why is that? Because it's higher in polyphenols. Oh, okay. We'll get the light roast from now on. Light roast coffee. Higher in polyphenols, better. So, go with that, and you'll see. what I mean. So that was a great trip, man, going on that cruise, man, and it was just wild. And the great excursions. The island of St. John is probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. And everything was going well until I stood up on the boat and got a little seasick and took my eyes off the horizon. Supposedly, that's not a good thing to do. I didn't have my sea legs back then. I don't have them now. And that's why they invented something called Dramamine. I think that's what it's called for motion sickness. Highly recommended. Some people use the little thing they put behind here, the one that goes around the thing, the one that wraps around the other thing. The Dramamine worked. Okay? So, anyway, never forget that trip. Awesome. And I wanted to go down another little lane today on when I was privileged enough to be one of the chiropractors to take care of the Florida Panthers NHL hockey team. Wow, is that the real deal? Shout out to Dr. Nick! If you ever come across this show, Dr. Nick, from the bottom of my heart, the greatest experience I've ever had working in my profession as a chiropractor, bar none. Man, the NHL players were coming in the office for rehab. The Dolphin cheerleaders were coming in there for therapy. There was a connection with them also. I mean, he was just wrapped around with friends like, professional athletes and things like that. And it was just really an amazing experience to go into the locker room and you drive in there into the arena and all the home games, no away games, but the home games. Go in with your medical pass, go in and adjust the coach, some of the players that wanted it before the game, and go in and sit behind the ice with the rest of the Cleveland Clinic doctors. You know, they had the podiatrist, the orthopedic surgeon, the other neurologist, the other physicians and things like that. And we would sit next to them right behind the team and the coaches. It was amazing. And I just can't say enough how awesome that really was, man. And, working in that office, saw an office really run like a tight ship. And the one thing, let me tell you, some of the things stick to my ribs and stick in your psyche when you work for somebody that really runs their business on point and really is running his life amazing. He would never have stood for this little scruffiness right here. No way. But at Dean Bodie, we like the rough edges and we're keeping it real. But dress nice in the office. When I went to some business functions and things like that, always dressed like to the nines, and I got that from him, and it was really pretty amazing. And he said something to me one time. He said, never walk into yesterday's work and always go into work like you don't have a dime. I was like, wow. And I take that with me all the time, and when I get done for the day, I want to have all the work for the day done. Instead of sweeping that pile of yuck under the rug, so the next day you have all of this stuff you got to do from the day before on top of your new day, it starts to clog up, it starts to stack up, and it just creates problems. Okay? So when I take that philosophy away from him, it was a game changer. Because at the end of the day, you want to wrap it up. You want the desk to be nice and clean. Have your bills done for the day. Answer the emails. Look through your mail. Do whatever you got to do and have it done. When you leave, you're good. There's a big weight off your back. The next day you come into a clean slate and you're ready to roll. Way better. Way better than anything of letting it stack up by far. I took that in my life to fix my credit and all of that stuff, where instead of thinking that it's going to go away, it doesn't. Okay, so anyways, that's a big deal to me. And I wanted to look at something real quick here. And really, really awesome. Working in that environment was really, really amazing. Out on Thunder Island. Oh man, that song entered my head today, and that's the doo-doo-doot song. Sha la 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 la, my lady. Da, 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 da. What a song, man. Thunder Island, you don't know it? Check it out. Let me tell you, man, it's been pretty wild over here, going through some things, sharing some of my deep feelings from my own life and my own self when it comes to the anxiety issues and things like that. I hope somebody's getting some help from this, and we go through these things together. You're not alone, and you will get through it, you know? You just got to keep moving forward. Live your life like normal, you know? And it's always going to work out. Your nervous system's going to find its way. That's what it does. Your body's a healing mechanism, okay? It wants to find its way to health. It doesn't want to be sick. It wants to be healthy. When you cut your finger, it heals. You can scream at it all day long, don't heal, don't heal. It's going to heal anyway. That's what it does. It's a self-correcting, fixing thing. So go with that. But put it in an environment so it can fix itself. That's what the clean eating is all about. Go for a while. Give yourself a break from the junk and whatever. Let your body have the ability to mend itself. And it's major. Most powerful drug in the world on the Dean Bodie. Begins with an F and ends with a D. Food, right? So, that being said, she's a good girl, Bodie. She's the best girl in the world. She's a good girl, Bodie. Yeah, she's the best girl in the world. Ho! DeanBodie.com website. And the website's cool. It's got the link. You can shoot over to the podcast. It's got the social link. You can blast over and see the YouTube channel, Dean Bodie Space Show. And, you know, wherever you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify, we're on all the platforms. 800-878-9698. Feel free to call. Feel free to leave a fun message. You know, we're here for you. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click the like and ring the bell so you don't miss any of these shows. You don't want to miss any of these. These are real life stories, real life experiences. We're doing it. Talking about the first cruise today. Talking about my exciting adventure working with the Florida Panthers National Hockey League team. Amazing. Doing that. Incredible. That's a bucket list big time. And there'll be many more down the road, other bucket list items. This Dean Bodie Show's bucket list. We're having a blast over here, so look. Keep driving forward. Keep the positive mental attitude. Don't sit there and soak in the COVID schmovid pandemic schmandemic. We're going to see how this kind of funky little lighting's turning out today with, who knows? We're trying it out. We like the rough edges over here. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Perfect. He should have done this and that. Get your own show. Get your own show. Right, Emerald? Why do we season both sides? So both sides taste good. DeanBodie.com. We're going to see you tomorrow. You have a great day. Bye now.